Hello everybody, this is Barry from Knitting for Love, and today's video I'm going to be demonstrating magic loop. Now what you would need is a really long circular needle. I think this is the longest I could find circular needle. As you can tell, it wrapped twice, almost 3 times around itself, so it is very, very long, but you need a long one to actually do magic loop. So I'm going to cast on 20 stitches and I will be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm back and I've casted on 20 stitches on a long circular needle. Now what you're going to do is, for magic loop, you're going to want to take half of these stitches and put them at the end of your circular needle, at the other end of your circular needle. So we're going to take 2, 4, 6, 10. I'm going to take 10. And the reason why this is called magic loop is because we actually make a loop and we start knitting in the round from that. There. So we have 10 stitches on each side, and your working yarn should be on this back loop, on the back, the hook held furthest away from you, like so. Now you want to make sure that, again, just like you're working in the round with double pointed needles, you want to make sure that your bottoms are all facing around the bottom so you don't twist. And again, my working yarn is this needle right here, and then this is the needle we're going to work in. So what we're going to do is, for magic loop, I'm going to put this yarn, my working yarn, in between the 2 needles here, and I'm going to pull this one out just enough so I can begin knitting. Now when you start your knitting in magic loop, you want to make sure that you hold that first stitch and the last stitch together, like I'm holding both of these together, and that will help you with your tension. And then you just begin knitting. Oops, I didn't wrap right. There we go. And then you just begin knitting as always, and when you're finished this side, I will show you what you do next. So let me just finish this. It's not going to take that long. And again, if you don't like working with the double pointed needles, this is an option for you to knit in a round. And there I have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around. So the knitting, the working yarn needle is the furthest from me, and this yarn is facing me. And all I'm going to do is pull my loop and bring my other needle back up and facing it, and that way, let's get you back in focus here. There. And you put them together again, and your yarn is in the middle and in the back. You pull out the one that has the working yarn and you start knitting, and that, once you finish this round, that would complete one round around your knitting, and you're just going to complete this process until your desired length. Now if you're making a hat, you can decrease and try it on. If you're making a sock using this method, you can try them on. You don't have to worry about the stitches falling off, because it's such a long needle that you don't have to worry about anything coming loose unless you drop something, which doesn't really happen that often. Now I would suggest just practicing this, and see, this is my working yarn, so I'm going to turn it around, and again I'm going to pull this one, so my needle will come up and slide it in and line them up. And as you can tell, I'm knitting in the round and I'm not twisting, and it is closed. So if you like to see more videos like this, please let me know. You can bind off in the same way, in the round, the same way you would do. It's just, this makes knitting easier when people are used to dealing with straight pointed needles, and double pointed needles are just a nightmare for them. I suggest getting yourself a very long circular needle, and I forgot how long this is. I think this is 46 inches. And yeah, and I use a very long one because this is the one needle that I do really big projects with, like baby blankets and stuff like that, and socks. That's why the needles are small. And these are a size, I believe these are a size 4 knitting needles, or maybe a 3. But then again, we can check. I showed this in the first video that I ever uploaded, and it's a Susan Bates knit check knitting gauge tool that I bought, and we can stick that in there, and it is a size 3 knitting needle. So if you're like me and need glasses to read the fine print that's engraved into the needles, you can use one of these, and you can tell what size knitting needles you have. If you are using metal knitting needles, they won't have an engravement on it, so this is very handy to have, and it only costs a couple of dollars to get. And please let me know if you have any questions or would like to see more videos like this. Please share, like, subscribe your video. Oh, and if you put it down and you don't know where you are and it's like that, just divide them up again and then slide both ends to your needles, and then line them up again. Again, your working yarn from your ball should be that last needle facing away from you, and the other needle should be facing towards you, and then straighten out your knitting and keep on going. Happy knitting. Bye now.